When someone says they do not use Instagram, the reaction is immediate curiosity. People may assume they are antisocial, uncomfortable with technology, unusually private, uninterested in others, or hiding something. Yet, many of these people have active social lives and spend time online through YouTube, Facebook groups, forums, or communities built around interests. Some have never joined Instagram. Others used it for years and eventually left. A third group still has an account but rarely posts or checks it. From the outside, all three groups may look similar, but their psychological reasons can be very different. For some, avoiding Instagram reflects independence. For others, it is simply a preference for deeper, quieter forms of connection. Subscribe to Thalvin Psychology for more insights into the hidden reasons behind everyday human behavior. Instagram is not merely a place for sharing photographs. Psychologically, it is an environment built around visual self-presentation. Profile pictures, follower counts, likes, story views, highlight reels, travel photos, appearance, and lifestyle updates constantly invite one question: how do other people see me? This process is often described as impression management. Most users are not necessarily being fake, but they naturally choose which parts of life to display and which parts to leave unseen. A joyful dinner may be posted, while the argument afterward remains private. Over time, this can create two versions of the same person. One is the ordinary self that experiences daily life. The other is the polished self designed for an audience. The problem is not that everyone on Instagram is dishonest. The deeper issue is that the platform's structure quietly rewards control, curation, and the continuous management of personal image. Instagram creates an invisible pressure to remain visible. Users may feel they always need something worth posting, an interesting life to display, comments to answer, and reactions to monitor. For some people, this becomes a form of unnecessary mental labor. Psychologists might describe it as social performance fatigue, the exhaustion that comes from constantly managing how you appear to others. Even when someone is not posting, the performance can continue inside their mind. Is this photo attractive enough? What will people think? Why did this post receive fewer likes? Should I share this moment at all? Will others assume my life is boring? The fatigue does not come only from using the app. It also comes from repeatedly observing yourself through an imagined audience. Over time, that constant self-monitoring can make ordinary moments feel less natural, less private, and far more emotionally demanding than necessary. As people grow older and develop a more stable sense of identity, external approval often begins to matter less. Likes, compliments, public attention, reactions from strangers, and the need to prove that life is going well may gradually lose their power. This does not mean people become cold or stop caring about connection. It simply means they no longer need every experience to be confirmed by an audience. Self-determination theory describes three basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Instagram can support relatedness by helping people feel connected, but it may weaken autonomy when posting is driven by pressure or the expectation of feedback. Not needing public validation does not mean needing no validation at all. Everyone wants to feel seen and valued. The difference is whether that recognition comes from a few meaningful relationships or from a large crowd that may only know the polished surface of your life. Avoiding Instagram does not mean rejecting social media altogether. Many people who stay away from Instagram still use YouTube, Facebook groups, Reddit, podcasts, forums, and online communities centered on interests. What they may reject is not the internet itself, but a style of interaction built around images, attention, and performance. Some platforms encourage broadcasting, where users send their identity outward and wait for reactions. Others are more interest-based, helping people find information, ideas, and communities built around shared curiosity. A person may dislike the message, "Look at me," while enjoying the invitation, "Let's talk about this." They may not be less social. They may simply prefer connection that grows from shared interests rather than constant personal visibility. That difference can change how online interaction feels. People who avoid Instagram may prefer depth over constant visibility. Instagram often delivers fast, visual, brief content designed for quick reactions. By contrast, YouTube, podcasts, and long-form forums can help people learn a skill, explore a complex topic, follow a discussion, or think carefully. Some users find more satisfaction in taking information in than in sending signals about themselves. This reflects the difference between active consumption and passive scrolling. Active consumption begins with a purpose, while passive scrolling continues because an algorithm keeps offering the next distraction. Of course, YouTube can become mindless when used without intention. The real difference is not the platform itself, but the reason someone opens it. The strongest reason some people leave Instagram may have less to do with depth and more to do with comparison. Instagram can quietly turn other people's lives into measuring tools for your own. Each post may become another piece of evidence in a private mental comparison. Is their home more beautiful than mine? Is their marriage happier? Are their children more successful? Do they earn more money, look younger, or seem healthier? Why does their life appear more exciting than mine? This process often happens automatically, even when you know every image has been carefully selected. Upward comparison occurs when you measure yourself against someone who seems better off. Downward comparison happens when you compare yourself with someone who appears less fortunate so you can feel better. Both patterns can make self-worth depend on relative position instead of personal values. The deeper problem is simple. We compare our full, unedited life to someone else's selected moments. Their feed shows the vacation, not the argument. It shows the achievement, not the fear behind it. Over time, constant comparison can make an ordinary life feel inadequate, even when nothing is actually wrong. Many people cannot clearly explain why Instagram makes them uncomfortable. They simply say, "It made me feel weird," "I didn't enjoy it," or "I felt worse after using it." That vague reaction may come from the combined weight of comparison, self-criticism, fear of missing out, pressure to perform, information overload, and the feeling that life is not good enough. Psychologists sometimes describe this lingering effect as emotional residue. You may forget the exact posts you saw, but the emotional impact can remain. You might feel less satisfied with your appearance, further behind than others, restless, distracted, or as though everyone else is living more fully. The platform may leave a mood behind even after the screen is closed. That is why a useful question is not simply whether you enjoyed scrolling. After using Instagram, do you feel genuinely connected, or do you simply feel behind? Leaving Instagram can create a sense of loss. The platform does more than create pressure. It also meets a psychological need, the need to feel seen. After leaving, some people miss birthday messages, reactions to achievements, small daily interactions, and the feeling that others know what is happening in their lives. They may not miss Instagram itself. They may miss the sense of being noticed. Being seen means feeling understood. Being watched means others notice your content. Being validated means receiving positive reactions. Belonging means feeling connected to a group. Instagram can provide the first three quickly, but it does not always create deep belonging. People who leave successfully often replace the platform with direct conversations, close friendships, interest-based communities, offline activities, and relationships that work both ways. Without those replacements, the social gap may remain, making a return feel tempting even when the platform itself was never truly satisfying. Not using Instagram does not point to one personality type. An introvert may avoid attention, while an extrovert may simply find the platform boring. Someone else may leave to protect their mental health, escape comparison, preserve privacy, or live from a more stable sense of identity. Another person may stay away because judgment, rejection, or emotional exposure still feels threatening. The same behavior can therefore come from confidence or self-protection. Intentional privacy means choosing boundaries because they support peace, freedom, and personal values. Fear-based avoidance means withdrawing because being seen feels unsafe. From the outside, both choices can look identical, but their psychological effects are very different. Avoiding Instagram does not automatically make someone wiser, healthier, or more mature than those who use it. The real question is whether using or avoiding the platform helps you live according to your own values. Subscribe to Thalvin Psychology for more thoughtful explanations of the hidden motives behind everyday human behavior and choices.